let's take a step back in time, like 150 years back, because that which would become the city of Wheaton was a place much like this, a land with virtually nothing on it, in a region of the country called the Frontier that was considered to be wild and dangerous. Nobody lived here, and yet there were those who came because they wanted not only to establish a new life, but they also wanted to find a new faith community together. So it happened right here. Those people that lived in what we now call Glen Ellen, their numbers began to grow. And they determined what they needed and wanted was a faith community, a place where their children, where their families could come to know and love this God that meant so much to them. So it was about 20 years later, this community is beginning to grow, and they decide they need to relocate. And they come over to this newly established city called Wheaton. And there they found the First Baptist Church of Wheaton, Illinois, a church that has this passion for raising up and developing disciples who they then send to impact the greater community. So this little church has invested itself in thousands of adults and children and youth and trained them up and sending them out so that they could impact their community. And literally out of this place have come hundreds of missionaries and ministry leaders who have impacted the lives of millions. Because of this place, millions of people have come to know who Jesus Christ is and become part of the family of God. And it all started here in a place called Wheaton. 150 years have passed since those early families responded to God's call. And yet our mission has remained the same. Our mission is to glorify God by being disciples of Jesus Christ who disciple others. We are First Baptist Wheaton.
A church that has been blessed by over 150 years of disciple making.
Where families have come together,
our community has been served,
and disciples have been formed.
We are a church that values communing with God,
discerning His will together,
becoming like Christ,
and living with Him.
We are a church that values oneness in diversity,
unique gifts and calling,
intergenerational ministry,
and multicultural ministry.
We are a church that values mission-minded community.
Ministry that furthers the kingdom,
where we can reach others together
and learn to understand God's mission and vision for our church.
we are a church that values equipping in ministry.
A church where we have collaborative teams
that equip disciples
to multiply Christ's church.
We are a church that is deployed with the gospel.
Right next door
and around the world.
A church that welcomes all ages,
all cultures,
and all backgrounds
to become a real community.
We are First Baptist Wheaton, a church with a rich history and an exciting future.
We are
First Baptist Wheaton.